Of the hour page. I'm Brooke Whiteley.
And I'm Cecilio Ramirez. The Aggie men's basketball team is in the record books here at Cameron University. Last night the team got their 5th Lone Star Conference win, breaking the school record for divisional wins in a season.
The Aggies are now a half game ahead of Northeastern State for the 4th spot in the conference. Remember, only the top 4 teams make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, junior forward Callan Glasgow had a phenomenal game with 20 points and 8 rebounds. He was 8 for 10 shooting. Only 3 more conference games remain in the season, 2 of which are at home.
This is record-breaking team needs more fan support to make it to the LSC playoffs. If you haven't come out to a home game yet, CU plays UCO this Saturday for homecoming.
Yeah, the game starts at 4. We'll need all the Aggie fan support we can get. Top of the hour starts next.
It's homecoming here at Cameron. PAC and others have worked hard to schedule events for the entire week. Reporter Michael Faget was at the Decades Dance to capture all the excitement.
Homecoming is in full swing here at Cameron after the groovy Decades Dance on Tuesday night, the 17th. Faculty, staff, and students dressed up in nostalgic attire and danced the night away. Event coordinator Amanda Sims explained how the dance took existence.
Well, we formed a dance committee, and we all then came up with a theme, which was decades, and we split it up into different decades of 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and the different groups just kind of came up with different things from the eras, and we just threw it all together and had a dance.
And a dance it was. Participants represented various eras from the 60s to the 90s. They also met the homecoming nominees for this year. Senior Dave Smith talked about his nomination for Homecoming King. Later after the dance, Homecoming Queen nominee Taylor Thompson also talked about her participation in this year's homecoming.
I'm really excited to participate in homecoming this year, especially with it being Cameron University's centennial year. We've got a lot of neat events planned, and so I'm happy to be able to take part in all the events.
Yet none of this year's events can compare to the Decades Dance. The music, dancing, and fun made this a dance to remember.
After a night of laughter, fun, dancing, and good times, this was a great way to kick off the Centennial Homecoming here at Cameron University. Reporting for Top of the Hour, I'm Michael Faget.
Congress is debating on whether or not to ban selling primates as pets. Congress says it must be passed to rectify a patchwork of state and local laws that leave many people at risk of being attacked by exotic animals. This bill is the result of the chimpanzee who left one Connecticut woman in life-altering injuries. Police say Charla Nass was visiting the home of the chimp's owner when he attacked her. The chimp was eventually killed by a police officer who responded to a 911 call. The police officer shot the animal as it opened the door and entered his parole car. Animal experts say chimpanzees are enormously powerful primates and say even though they're highly evolved, they still remain wild animals despite attempts to domesticate them. Investigators are now saying pilot actions may have been the cause of the Continental Connection plane crash. They've gathered evidence that pilot commands not the buildup of ice initiated the fatal dive into a neighborhood 6 miles short of Buffalo, New York's airport. People familiar with the situation say the commuter plane slowed to an unsafe speed as it approached the airport. They say it caused an automatic stall warning. The pilot pulled back sharply on the plane's controls and added power instead of lowering the plane's nose to regain speed. Authorities say the investigation is still at an early stage and warned ruling out potential causes. The crash killed all 49 on board and 1 on the ground.
Police in Sandy, Utah are looking for someone who placed 35 pounds of marijuana into the gas tank of a car. A man who had just bought a Nissan Armada had a persistent problem with his gas gauge. The gauge continued to read half full. When the car was taken to a mechanic, they discovered $35,000 worth of marijuana wrapped in plastic. Police say the current owner is not a suspect and that the drugs may have been stashed for several months. Former NBA All-Star Tracy McGrady has confirmed he will be sitting out the rest of the season. The Houston Rockets star will be undergoing microfracture surgery on his left knee. When McGrady began playing for the Rockets in 2004, he was averaging almost 26 points a game. With the limited time he has been seeing this season because of his injury, McGrady is down to almost 15 points a game. The former Rockets leading scorer is now the third leading scorer on his team and has missed 18 games this season. Before the All-Star break, the 29-year-old forward announced he would consult with doctors before deciding on the best course of treatment on his knee. On Wednesday, McGrady said he would have surgery immediately. Head coach Rick Adelman claims he was not aware of the announcement until he read it in the paper the next morning. Adelman says there should be some kind of protocol to where the team can sit down and talk about the situation before it is officially announced to the press. Other Rockets players said they found out through the media as well, but McGrady's backup, Ron Artest, was not surprised. Artest says he knew McGrady is going through some tough issues in his career, and he was aware of the severity. The Houston Rockets are 33-21 overall and have won 13 of 19 games without Tracy McGrady. Next season is the final year of his contract, and he is set to make $23 million. The Rockets are currently 5th in the Western Conference.
A family of 4 in New Hampshire is trying to spend just $1,500 for their groceries, household items, and personal care expenses for an entire year. The family plans to detail their attempt in a blog. The Spooner family says they developed a new system of shopping that includes stockpiling foods and paying close attention to coupons and sales. The family says they've saved. So far this year, their average grocery bill is only $125 a month. The Spooners say they're also banning dining out until their wedding anniversary on December 28th.
Chris Brown challenged to another fight. Just last week, Top of the Hour reported the story about Chris Brown's criminal threats and assault on pop star Rihanna. Now Anthony Geisler and many others want a piece of Chris Brown. Geisler, who is the president of LA Boxing, has created a Facebook group called I Want to Fight Chris Brown. His motives are to challenge the 19-year-old R&B singer to a fight in the ring against a worthy opponent. Anthony Geisler runs one of the largest kickboxing and mixed martial arts training organizations in the world. Last week, Brown apologized for his actions and vowed to get therapy for his issues. Well, Brooke, as soon as I get out of the show, I think I'm going to go home and join the Facebook group
I hate
immediately.
Chris Brown.
Well, I just want to fight him. He put hands on my girl, Rihanna. Come on.
I know. I feel bad for her, but does anybody really know what happened in that car?
It's all really speculation, rumor. There was just a lady that happened to walk by the car, see what's going on. She told police what she's seen, but basically the information is there. She was battered up, her face was bruised. You know, he was in the car fighting. Something about a phone got something about a text message. Yeah, and she threw his keys out and he couldn't find them. The situation got heavier and it ended up how it was. It's really unfortunate to see stars going out like that.
Well, I wish the best of luck to Rihanna, so hopefully that'll smooth over.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us for our first ever live broadcast of CUTV.
Yeah, if you tuned in late, all of our programming is available on YouTube. Just search CUInternetTV with no spaces.
For more on today's stories, visit our top of the hour page at cunews.wetpaint.com. Click on our blog link and view all of our stories from today's show. I'm Brooke Whiteley.
And I'm Cecilio Ramirez. We'll see you next hour.